Hello and welcome. Send me your wine questions and I'll answer them. Like this one. I was in a snobby restaurant on the river, sitting in the sun last week, and the wanker of a waiter brought out me bottle of Shiraz and it was fucking cold. I complained and he told me it was the right temperature. I told him to get stuffed and order a 4X Gold instead. What's he on about? Damo from Brisbane. Damo, it depends what you mean by cold. You probably think it's only white wine that goes in the fridge, and reds are served at room temperature. And you'd be right if you were in Europe or Melbourne. But here in Brisbane, unless it's a dead of winter, room temperature is not the right temperature to be serving anything, apart from a Vegemite Sangria in a bong. You say you were sitting in the sun, so a bottle of wine at 18 degrees probably felt cold to the touch, and I'd wager that this is around the temperature that the wine was served to you at. Drinking wine in warm climates has its challenges, because you want most reds around 18 degrees and most whites around 8 to 10. When you drink reds too warm, the most noticeable effect is that the alcohol starts to take over, much like what your missus says happens when you're 10 cans in on a Saturday. The wine will be all fumey and probably burn your nose a bit when you smell it, much like your missus when she's 10 cans in on a Saturday. The wine will be all out of whack in your mouth too. The alcohol will stick out here as well, presenting as a hot, prickly sensation. Just like the time you caught... Moving on. Drinking a red too warm basically ruins the balance of the wine and destroys its chance of having any delicacy. Now, you don't want to have it too cold either, as this will also throw out the balance, accentuating the acid and particularly the tannin in the wine. In warm climates, outside of winter, a good rule of thumb is to whack the red in the fridge for 10 minutes before you open it, and then keep an eye on the temperature. If you pour your standard bucket-sized glass of red in the middle of summer, well, it doesn't matter how cool it is to start with. By the end of the glass, it'll be like the time you and Dazza tried out the bubbler. Remember? Didn't go well. If you can be bothered, you might need to put the wine back into the fridge to keep it at the right temperature. And then you might even have to pull it out and shove it back in. No clip? Okay. Temperature is equally important for white wine. Most of the time, white wine gets consumed too cold. It's kept in the fridge, you whip it out, pour a glass and neck it. Well, this dulls the flavour of the wine and also increases the impact of the acid in the wine. Not that kind of acid. The easy way around this is to pour a decent sized glass straight out of the fridge, but just sip it until the wine warms up a bit. Then, if you get caught with some left in your glass that's gone warm, as if, you can just top it up with cold stuff and you're back on track. Putting ice cubes in your wine will dilute the flavour, so it's not ideal. However, this is probably the only water you'll drink all night, so it does have its benefits. Some white wines are highly textural. You know, there's a lot going on in the middle and the back of the palate. And if you have the wine too cold, you'll miss out on the real joy of drinking these kinds of wines. Now, the easy solution to the temperature problem is to invest in a wine fridge, preferably one with split temperature zones for red and white, so that you can drink your wine at the right temperature. And if you take out a shelf or two, your goon bags will fit just fine, Damo. Get on it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, peace.